You're the guest from before. We meet again! And a new friend. Forgot to introduce myself. I'm the hotel's bellboy, Misha.
Hello, Misha. I'm Welt. We met in a dream. Oh. And who might this...
Tick-tock! Old friend and new friend! Let's high-five!
Your, memory zone meme?
No, Clocky is a good friend of mine. We all live here. How did you two get here? This dreamscape isn't supposed to be open to the public. I wonder if it has something to do with Sleepy.
So, this is your home?
Yep. After my work in the beautiful dream ends, I'll go back home. Commuting used to be more convenient, but ever since travel became cumbersome, Sleepy started ferrying people back and forth between the two dreamscapes.
This... Sleepy. Can you describe what it looks like?
Sleepy is a memory zone meme. Looks fierce and has many eyes. But it's actually really well behaved. Gallagher!
Based on the description, that meme is indisputably death. A nightmare for the family, but for the people who live here, well, that couldn't be further from the truth.
Death? Not in a dream, surely. Sleepy's just a little aggressive, and sometimes messes up by fetching the wrong guess.
I see. Has it brought back any guests recently, say, in the last day or two?
I see. Then you'll have to speak with Gallagher. But he's currently busy hosting a visitor from the Oak family, and, Mr. Yang? The person you're looking for, is it Miss Robin?
Just as I thought. Considering what happened with Miss Firefly, this...
If you're looking for Miss Robin, I can lead the way. She told me that she'd be willing to meet with outside guests.
If it's not too much trouble. Also, we're looking for our missing companions. A woman with red hair accompanied by a girl with pink hair.
Oh, I haven't. But please, rest assured. Dreamflux Reef is a small place, and it's not as bustling as the beautiful Dream. How about this? Since it's your first time here in Dreamflux Reef, I'll be your guide and help you find your companions. And then we can all go visit Miss Robin together. She's gone to Mrs. Grace's to visit the children. She won't be leaving anytime soon.
All right, then. We'll follow your plan. Well, we now know the answer to both murder cases that have caused such commotion in Penacony. As for the intentions of the mastermind behind it all... Yes, that's my thinking as well. I'm not entirely certain, but we still have to find him one way or another. Say, you mentioned before that you saw Clocky. I can't shake off this strange feeling. Forget it. It's not important.
Don't forget to... Everyone, look! From here, you can see the most spectacular view of Dream...
A black hole? No. An accretion disk formed from consolidated memoria?
Oh, so Mr. Yang is also versed in memoria dynamics. I was just trying to figure out how to explain this huge hole to everyone. Look! There she is!
My calculations are finally done. In another 10 system hours? Who are you all, and why haven't you left yet? This... I'm Kami, a dreamscape surveyor specializing in Memoria dynamics. See that huge gaping hole? It was just a narrow rift many years ago, but now it's grown into a giant hole. The surrounding Memoria has been flowing towards the other end of the hole but the scary part is, according to my calculations, the flow rate of Memoria has recently changed, and it's faster than ever before. It's almost as if by constantly improving upon Madame Rosalina's Memoria measurement method, after 10 system hours, the Dreamflux Reef will...
Please don't worry. This sort of thing has happened many times before. Miss Kami isn't a bad person.
You don't say. There was something else that piqued my...
Oh, do you know her too? Or are you also a...
We're very interested in Madame Rosalina's achievements.
Why, of course! She's an excellent scholar of Memoria dynamics, and the first person to apply Memoria rate Regrettably, due to the presence of the Garden of Recollection, ordinary people don't pay much attention to the nature of Memoria. I came to Penacony to learn more about my idol, and went to great lengths to seek out Dreamflux Reef, all because this is her final resting place. I felt it. The source is in the golden hour. There is a certain anomalous presence stirring the currents of the memory.
Does the name Madame Rosalina sound familiar to you? That's right. It seems like she did a great deal of research and calculations in Dreamflux Reef.
Miss Kami regularly mentions her. I hear Madame Rosalina passed away during the prison war.
Perhaps.
Our destination is the commercial district. That's where the largest crowds gather in Dreamflux Reef. We might be able to find the others there. Let me go!
Please, come to your senses.
Ghost! There's a ghost! Don't come near me!
Oh my. I'm human and so are you. Can you get a grip? Mr. Yang and Miss Trailblazer, I've been waiting for you. Quickly, come help. I bumped into a member of the family on the way here.
Let me go! Let me go! I've only done good in my life. What?
Well, this is how it turned out. Me? A ghost? Don't make me hit you. He thinks he's dead. Although, when I first fell in, I also thought the same.
Dear guest, this is not the afterlife. This is Dreamflux Reef.
That's right. Did you hear that? Repeat after me. Dreamflux Reef.
You're talking to someone invisible. If I'm not dead... Stop asking! You'll alert the monsters! All the dead are right here.
You're not talking about the memory zone meme.
Don't say that name! It's all your fault.
Destiny isn't chosen.
Ill fate is said.
You'll pay for this.
Lend me your strength. Another journey begins. On the still waters of oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
He passed out. His intense negative emotions attracted the nearby memory zone memes.
I see. But why aren't the other people...
Unlike in the Sweet Dream, people here don't see memory zone memes as dangerous monsters, but we can't just leave this man here. Can
We can ask Jessie for help. I've gotten to know many
I remember when this place was...
No! At this rate, the family will be...
Evening, Jessie. Is it evening?
Welcome, Miss March. Who might these be?
These two are my friends. As for the man lying on the ground, he's a scaredy cat who fainted.
I see. Another poor guy who accidentally ended up here. There have been a lot of new faces lately. Things must be tough in the beautiful dream.
Do such things often happen here?
Not really, but they're becoming more frequent now. Guess it's one of the signs of the sweet dream. This man has had quite the shock. Could you help me find a Holovian lady, Mart?
A Holovian lady?
That must be Robin. She's also here in Dreamflux Reef.
Huh? Robin? But I thought she... Oh, right. If Firefly is here safe and sound, then...
Misha's about to take us to her to find out what happened. But before that, let's...
We met some stowaways in the residential area. Most of them came... I heard that places like Dreamflux Reef are scattered throughout the memory zone of Asdana. I also heard that when Dreamflux Reef took shape, it was the center of all dreamscapes in Penacony.
If that's true, it's no wonder there are so many similarities between this place and this...
Himeko must be gathering information. Let's hurry up and get going. This is where we split up. She can't...
So that's how it is. I never imagined we'd gather the remaining details here.
To borrow Gallagher's catchphrase, what an unpredictable twist of fate.
Himeko, here they are.
Ah, perfect timing. Now that everyone's here, I'd like to introduce everyone to Micah, who's partly in charge of the Land of the Exiles.
It's a pleasure to meet the Nameless.
You know us?
I've been keeping an eye on you since the day you arrived in Penacony. We would have met under more appropriate circumstances if Dreamflux Reef hadn't been... Please, allow me to formally introduce myself. I'm Micah, the Gravekeeper of Dreamflux Reef.
Gravekeeper?
Life in Dreamflux Reef is pretty liberating. Everyone here mostly keeps to themselves, without
You're too modest, Micah. When lost dream chasers stumble upon this place, you're the one who takes care of them. Guide...
So, guardian of sorts.
Were you talking to me, Mr. Yang?
On that note, Mr. Mika, which tombstones are you referring to? We didn't come across any graveyard when...
They're actually just symbolic stones. But since you're curious, Mr. Yang, I'll take you there. I have a feeling you might find something of it. But before that, you have an important guest joining you.
An important guest? Who could it be?
This way, please. The roads here in Dreamflux Reef are a bit run down, so watch your step. There she is.
Everyone sang so wonderfully. It's not often that I tried this music style, but I've gained some valuable insights from it.
Oh, I can't thank you enough, Robin. Well, these kids have made incredible progress.
It was nothing, Grace. I merely taught them how to sing. It was you who brought hope into their lives. Life must be quite difficult for them in reality, I imagine.
That's right.
Whenever it's time to say goodbye to these kids, they're reluctant to leave. But I've explored every corner of Dreamflux Reef.
It seems you truly are a child of the Harmony. Emma and Andy are orphans I took under my wing. Carol there, with her blind eyes, used to work at a nutrition center in the outer ring of Penacony. If we compare people to birds, these kids are like fledglings with impaired wings. But in this dream, and me, an old lady with no legs. Well, without this dream, I couldn't even walk toward them.
I'm glad that you found a new life here in Penacony.
Don't worry, Robin. Dreams have their significance, but they aren't everything. Both the children and I understand this. But you know what? Emma and Gary aren't plagued by their insecurities anymore. No, and Carol is learning how to cope with her blindness. You see, in dreams, we learn how to live. Once we return to reality...
And should our feathers be damaged, then we share our wings with one another. There's no need to covet an illusory sky in dreams, because we have the right and the ability.
It's a relief to see you safe and sound, Miss Robin.
It's nice to see you all again, Astral Express crew. I heard my disappearance caused quite the commotion out there.
Since you're here, can we assume that you're fully aware of the situation?
Ever since I returned to Penacony, my voice started to change, until it gradually faded away. At first, I thought it was a temporary ailment, but now it seems the root of the problem goes way beyond me. There are elements around me that don't align with the harmony.
The sweet dreams collapse. That memo keeper mentioned the same thing.
While I was away from Penacony, the boundaries of the 12 dreamscapes kept expanding outward. But when I mentioned the anomalies in my dreams, later, I discovered the secret letters from the IPC ambassador, which further convinced me that there are hidden secrets beneath the surface of Penacony. So, in the Oak family's dossiers, I found my way here, the land of the exiles, concealed by the family under the guise of death.
Hearing you speak, it sounds as if your voice has made somewhat of a recovery.
I hate to admit it, but the harmony in this place resonates more broad. It's regrettable. But the family has experienced betrayal. The traitor, or traitors, abandoned their original principles and, using the name of harmony, this is not the strong defending the weak, but rather the strong exploiting the weak. A world without equality won't ever be favored by the harmony.
Could there be another force influencing the family's shift in philosophy, Miss Rob? Considering what happened with Acheron, it's difficult to conceive of another entity within the realm of the harmony capable of influencing everyone.
I'd heard about what happened to the Cienjo Alliance, but as far as I'm aware, the family hasn't faced any such external interventions. Regardless, I cannot accept my home is moving towards the very opposite of what the harmony represents. Well, I must uncover the reason why Mikhail cut ties with the family, and who exactly it was who betrayed us all. Do you remember our arrangement, Mr. Micah? I've decided to forgo my role, and never step foot on the Charmony Festival stage again.
Look here, brother. A little bird.
Looks like a fledgling Charmony dove. But Charmony doves don't live here. So how did this little bird get here?
It looks weak and frail. Why don't we find something soft and make it—
This place is too dangerous for a fledgling. Let's take it with us.
Okay. A bird like that must have a beautiful singing voice.
I'll ask the family head to build a cage for it.
A cage? But then it won't have the freedom to fly.
Let's see. What is it that has captured the attention of, oh, poor little thing? Doesn't look like it's doing well.
I do. But I don't want to lock it up in a cage.
Why?
Even if it's small and not fully feathered and can't sing. I didn't come into this world just to be locked up in a cage. Birds. They should be flying free in the sky.
That's quite the romantic idea. And what about you, a young scholar? Do you agree with your sister?
I think she's right. But if we leave it out in the wild, it won't survive for more than a few days at best.
Ah, I see. It seems our little scholar is still a bit unsure. Well, let me tell you youngsters a story. As you probably know, Charmony doves can fly through the air. When they fly really high, the friction caused by the flapping of their feathers. And we've seen this spectacle so many times that we think it's just something they can naturally do. Their ancestors were too weak to survive on the ground. So, to escape predators, after countless attempts by many generations, one of them finally figured out how to fly.
So, you mean birds aren't born to fly?
Well, that's an idealistic way of putting it.
I think people believe birds are meant to fly because...
That's an interesting perspective.
For now, I'll keep it in a cage. I want it to live, no matter what.
Well said, kids. It seems each of you has found your...
We will take good care of it. Won't we, brother?
Yeah. But, Mr. Gopherwood, there's one thing I don't...
And what might that be, my son?
What if this little Charmony dove never learns to fly in the... I mean, if there are fledglings in this world that can never fly throughout the... Should we let them go back to the sky? Only to see them crash to the ground and die?
Talking in your sleep, Birdie? Huh? Need a hand?
I'm still alive?
Yeah. Happy about that?
Where is Robin? Tell me. Now.
I knew that was going to be the first thing you'd ask. Don't worry, your sister is here, safe and sound. She's probably walking around the streets now. If I were you, I'd be more worried about myself.
If you wanted to kill me, you wouldn't give me the chance to speak. Just tell me your demands, lackey of the Watchmaker.
So, you figured out who I am, huh? No wonder you had the guts to go against the Dream Master and the Four Families.
Choice.
You are aware of my plan and see through my act. Time is running out, so let's drop the charades. I'm suggesting we cooperate.
Cooperate? What makes you think I'd cooperate with you?
The fact that the famous Robin has chosen my side. Plus, some clues about a traitor and a bright future for Penacony. Any of that catch your interest?
I find it hard to believe a man who's full of deception.
Fine. You don't have to trust me. What you should trust is the sense of justice inside of you.
Show me Robin first.
All right, as you wish. Here she is.
Huh?
What's your trick this time?
Just kidding. I mean, this lady will lead us to Robin, right?
And the crew, too. There are too many people who you owe an explanation.
That'd be great. Please follow me, Honorable Oak Family Head.
This is the monument I mentioned earlier. The names inscribed on it.
Rosalina and Tiernan.
When Penacony was known as a frontier prison, it was the Trailblazers who connected it with the stars. They were the heroes who saved Astana, and their names deserve to be immortalized. Not just on the small stone tablet, but in the annals of history for all of time. However, today, the planet of festivities is nothing but sweet dreams. That heavy piece of history is all a distant memory. Just like that prison.
If their names are inscribed here, then that means...
According to Micah, they died long ago.
Rosalina was killed during the War of Independence. She ventured alone into the heart of the star system to investigate the flow of Memoria, but she never returned. Tiernan was a skilled gunslinger, strong and reliable. He led the people through countless battles, but he didn't live long enough to witness the arrival of true peace. In the decade following the war, Penacony faced challenges internal and external.
Though I had expected as much, the tales of these heroes truly are sorrowful.
True to the title of Trailblazer, they spent their lives venturing into the unknown.
When Dreamflux Reef was created, its owner was still alive. However, he insisted on erecting a monument for himself. Here we meet again. Everyone from the Astral Express.
Robin.
Stream forth the gleam of old.
I promised to give the siblings some privacy, so let's talk about our business first. What do you say? That sounds sensible enough. Since you went through the trouble of gathering the family head, the crew, and the Stellaron hunters... Oh? Is it that obvious?
The look on your face is practically screaming, I'm the one behind all this.
You're right, Mr. Yang. It is indeed time to come clean on everything. The siblings already know what they need to, and they've made their choice. But you, Nameless, arrived a bit late. So it's only fair that I answer your questions. Before we begin, let me reintroduce myself. I'm the founder of Dreamflux Reef, the deputy of the Watchmaker, and the one who sent out that invitation. As Gallagher, the history fictionologist, I humbly extend my greetings to you all.
History fictionologist? So what, everything you told us was made up?
Well, don't worry. Almost everything I shared was true. What?
I double-checked with Micah, and everything he said about the family, the Watchmaker, and Mikhail is true.
Thank you for your understanding. Now let's get down to business. I'm sure you're all wondering why I went through the trouble of setting up this battle for the legacy, inviting different factions. Well, it all boils down to something very familiar to all of you. The Stellaron? But how is that possible? Penacony is a free-flowing interstellar hub. You're totally correct. So, care to take a guess at what that means? I wish that were the truth. But if that were the case, I wouldn't have invited all of you. The sweet dream doesn't come out of thin air. If you think of the memory zone as the sea, creating the land of the dreams is like filling that wild ocean with earth. To achieve this feat, without the help of an emanator of remembrance or enigmata, and that's not something you can achieve with a simple wish. It requires vast quantities of knowledge, time, and manpower. In Asdana, the planet of festivities itself is a Stellaron disaster.
The planet of festivities itself is a Stellaron disaster?
It all started a long time ago, back when the Watchmaker and his crew liberated the frontier prison. The Stellaron first entered the Asdana system during the war. The Nameless warned everyone against the folly of attempting to tamper with such a power. The turning point came after Tiernan's death. With two of the Nameless gone, the Watchmaker had to go to the front lines. And by the time a representative from the Montour system's family arrived at the Watchmaker's call...
And I suppose the family happened to possess the knowledge to seal the Stellaron?
Not just that. They knew far more about the Stellaron than the average person. They helped Mikhail swiftly quell the civil unrest and played up. Those three eras were known as the Age of Dreaming. The Watchmaker, who had been left in the dark, sent out invitations across the universe.
Then, how did they turn against each other?
Remember the island in the ocean metaphor? The truth is, the Stellaron was never truly sealed. It existed in a different form within the dreamscape. Think about this.
What would it cost to create and maintain such a lavish dreamland? It's people's lives. The opulent dream is built upon the decay of spirits, with a toxic elixir called pleasure, confusion, laziness, and cowardice. Weaknesses that plague. Sadly, we realized this far too late. By then, the family had a firm grip on Pentecost. At my wit's end, I had to use the power of the Enigmata, and sought refuge in this chaotic realm. Dormancy. That's its real name. We exploited a loophole. You see, regular people can't fall asleep again while...
So this is the true meaning of the impossible. You sent out invitations in the Watchmaker's name to find forces capable of resolving the Stellaron disaster and draw them in...
It's not just that. Above all, I wanted to see what happens when the major factions engage in a struggle for the legacy. Since this is...
So, the legacy is just...
If you want to consider the Stellaron as the legacy, I'm totally fine with that.
If that's the case...
That's a question for Mr. Wings. The Stellaron is still under the family's control, and as the head of the Oak family, I'm sure he holds all the answers. Are you done talking? So, will you tell us where the Stellaron is?
It is the Penacony Grand Theater itself.
As I suspected, it's the embodiment of the family. The edifice that first materialized within the sweet dream.
As for the person who employed its power, it is in fact Mr. Gopherwood, the current...
Well, that was easier than I thought. Did you conduct your own investigation already?
Correct. When I was trying to track down the person who murdered my sister...
Confronting me first turned out to be a smart move on your part.
I didn't have other options. The Dream Master has been elusive, and even the heads of the families can hardly get an audience with him. Moreover, Mr. Gopherwood has been kind to my sister and me.
What do you mean by that?
To be honest, my brother and I are also victims of the cancer of all worlds. We grew up as orphans, and were adopted by the family when they came to help. Mr. Gopherwood recognized our potential and brought us to... But I can't just stand by and watch Mr. Gopherwood become an enemy of the Harmony. I won't step on that stage and sing. No matter who the traitor is, or what orders they give me. For the paradise in our dreams.
Indeed. For the paradise in our dreams. As the head of the Oak family, I'm responsible for ensuring Penacony's promising future. Robin and I will head into the sweet dream and confront the Dream Master. I'll fight alongside you. We'll put the Charmony Festival on hold and make sure Mr. Gopherwood pays for his blood debt.
The enemies you are about to face aren't like this old dog here, who can barely even... Since our interests are aligned, why don't we team up? Maybe, just maybe.
We have always been following in the footsteps of our nameless predecessors.
Yeah, we Nameless won't back down from a challenge. Isn't that right, Miss Trailblazer? That line actually makes me a bit nervous.
Rest assured, sitting on the sidelines isn't in our nature. Mr. Sunday, Miss Robin, I'm willing to accompany you on behalf of the Astral Express.
Thank you, Mr. Yang.
Thank you all very much.
The Charmony Festival is about to start, and time is against us.
Everyone, let's gather over here. We still need to make some preparations.
Stream 4.
I may have been quick to step up to the plate, but confronting the Dream Master could be a very dangerous affair.
Uh-huh? Even you're saying that, Mr. Yang?
He's the leader of the families of Penacony, and he has the entire power of the Harmony behind him. Not to mention the Stellaron in his possession.
Maybe you can just stay behind this time, Mr. Yang?
No, that won't do. Even if we count Robin as an ally, something felt off about Mr. Sunday just now. Oh, you're still carrying the keepsake the IPC envoy gave you, right? May I borrow it for a moment? Huh. I knew it. As I suspected, this chip Aventurine gave to you is actually a miniature transmitter. If I'm right, he intends to use it to track your location or contact you when needed. As it so happens, this may actually be of some use in the current situation.
Aventurine? Is he still alive? And what does he have to do with our mission to confront—
Remember what I said earlier? Working with the IPC is a way to keep the family in check. If negotiations go south and the family show their true colors by going after the Stellaron, the only question mark in all of this is Aventurine's current status. But the IPC is always listening, especially senior strategic investment department heads like—
Good luck to you, Welt.
Well, you take care too. If anything goes wrong, don't worry about me. Just—
Spoken like a true hero. Even if the Dream Master is innocent, the family's corruption runs deep. I won't make the same mistake Mikhail did.
Don't you have something else to tell us, Gallagher?
Why would you say so?
Before we departed, the conductor asked us to inquire about the 3 nameless in Penacony. If I'm not mistaken, we've already met him somewhere, haven't we?
It's not enough to say meet, but the answer is pretty obvious. I've been watching over you ever since I received the reply from the Astral Express. And I've seen the great effort you all put into linking different realms together across the cosmos. Miss Himiko, were you the one who repaired the Express and got it sailing through the cosmos?
Yes.
And you two, young Nameless, you have very interesting life story.
I don't know much about my life story, but I do have extraordinary skills.
You're full of energy. Please send my regards to the conductor, Pom Pom. Please let them know that their friend had fond memories from his time aboard the Express. As for the last Nameless, he embarked, disembarked, and embarked again. On his deathbed, he told me to find the Astral Express and deliver an invitation to the future Nameless. Come with me. Now is the time to reveal it.
Back here again.
Sometimes I feel like you're still alive, old friend. Like you've still got so much to say and do. I've kept my promise. Brought the future Trailblazers you've waited so long for. I don't know why you were so obsessed with that train. Don't let us down, old man.
What's happening?
Go ahead. His resting place lies in the garden up ahead. The first and last Nameless of Penacony. Mikhail Char Legward, the Watchmaker.